after a CTA shooting.
And students plan to walk out of school today at one of Chicago's high schools. Their protest comes after a shooting outside the school that killed 2 teens.
Plus, the coldest air of the season will be moving in. Tracy is tracking a holiday week snowstorm system as we get you going on a brand new Monday morning.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
And good morning to you. Thanks so much for starting your day here with us at 7, streaming on ABC 7. I'm Mark Rivera in for Terrell.
And I'm Samantha Chapman in for Val Warner. It is the 19th of December, which means we are getting so close to Christmas. We're taking a live look out there, and Tracy says, it's a beautiful shot, but don't let it deceive you, because if you take a look at the bottom right corner, 11 degrees, and it's only going to go downhill from here. Tracy.
My goodness. Yeah, I mean, really, take a look at the current temperatures around the area. We have 8 degrees right now in Waukegan. We have 9 in Valparaiso. We have 8 right now in Naperville. And then it's a little bit of a light breeze. Thank goodness it's a light breeze with us this morning, because the temperature and the wind chill are pretty much the same in some locations, but others where we do get a little bit of a kick from the wind. Feels like it's 3 below right now in McHenry, 1 right now in Maryville. Today is going to be a day where we do work in a little bit of sun. Temperatures this afternoon, however, not that warm at all, and more clouds increase throughout the day. We'll go through that 7-day in my next report, but Jeremy Scott has been very, very busy this morning on traffic.
I think it's just a prelude of what's to come with the weather. Good morning, everybody. You see the northbound tri-state. That is a mess from Harlem all the way to just before the Stevenson. That's because of a crash closing the express lanes at 75th. We're going to send Chopper up there here shortly, but I do want to go to Choppers. You see crashes. Right now, they're over I-80 at 57. That crash you're looking at right now is a secondary crash. This happened westbound where a car rear-ended a semi. One person was taken away in an ambulance. There's a semi that's involved in that second crash. But the first crash, that's gone now, thankfully. Everything is off to the side, but you are still seeing some pretty heavy delays on eastbound Interstate 80. You're backed up all the way to just past LaGrange to the scene, which is just before I-57. So if you are headed towards Indiana, you might want to think about taking Route 30, because this is not going to go away anytime soon. I'll detail this 294 crash here in just a little bit, Mark and Samantha.
Oh my gosh, that is just snaking around. A lot of headlights, Jeremy. Thank you. Turning to this news, this broke overnight. A truck reported as stolen crashes into a statue on Sheridan Road at Diversey. Police say they were trying to pull the pickup truck over early this morning. They say it jumped a curb and slammed into that monument. Then they say 3 men tried to run away but were caught. Police say a weapon was found in the car.
Now to a breaking news update. Chicago police need your help identifying the person accused of shooting a 16-year-old while riding a CTA Red Line train.
Christian Picos is live outside of CPD headquarters with more this morning. Christian.
Mark and Samantha, Chicago police released surveillance video of the suspect they say shot that 16-year-old on the CTA Red Line train near the Cermak Chinatown stops early Sunday morning. Now, in this very crisp and clear surveillance video, you can see the suspect holding a handgun. Police say the 16-year-old victim was shot in the ear and eye just after 2 a.m. Sunday and was taken to Stroger Hospital in serious condition. The victim could only tell police he heard multiple gunshots, but a witness on the train was able to provide a description. Police say at one point they found a male matching that suspect description along with a handgun at the scene, but the individual was ultimately released without being charged hours later. Mark and Samantha, another violent weekend in Chicago. We're learning that 7 minors were shot, 2 of them fatally. Back to you.
And those 2 minors that were fatally shot were over at Benito Juarez High School, where much more news is happening today. In fact, this news, students at Benito Juarez Academy planning to walk out to protest gun violence.
This comes after 2 teens were shot and killed on school grounds Friday. Jessica D'Onofrio is live in Pilsen with more on today's plans. Jessica?
Yeah, the student organizing the walkout says she wants to get the attention of school administrators. She hopes they will address ongoing violence and gang activity here around the school. Kaya, a sophomore at Benito Juarez Community Academy, is turning a traumatic school day into action. On Friday, another student at Kaya's school, Brandon Perez, and his friend Nathan Villegas were shot and killed outside school grounds. 2 other teenagers were also hurt. Chicago police releasing these photos of a person who they say is connected to the shooting. The incident has Kaya and other students planning a walkout today and a vigil at this growing memorial.
I don't want anyone to feel like they're scared to come to school or anything. That's why I'm doing it, and I'm doing it for other schools too that have to go through this.
Her efforts come as parishioners gathered for Sunday Mass at St. Procopius Catholic Church nearby. They prayed to remember the young lives lost and the family and friends and students who are dealing with the pain. Again, this walkout is meant to protest violence. Students plan to leave their classes midday for about an hour. Back to you.
Okay, Jess, thank you. And a 15-year-old boy is recovering in the hospital after he was shot in the arm. Police say the teen was inside a vehicle near 95th and Stony Island when he was shot just before noon yesterday. That teen is expected to be okay.
A 16-year-old girl has now died from being shot. Kimberly Campbell was inside a home near Oakley in Washington on Friday when the shooting happened outside. She was hit and critically wounded. A 15-year-old boy was grazed and is expected to be okay.
Chicago police are issuing an alert after 7 Southside businesses have been burglarized. They happened early Sunday morning, most in just an hour. One of them happening here at Jimmy John's Sandwich Shop in the 900 block of West 35th Street. Break-ins also were discovered at a Dunkin' Donuts and a Pizza Hut, both on West 47th. Now, police are looking for at least three people last seen in a Dodge Durango with license plate number CL16361. They're asking you to call if you have any information.
We turn now to this developing story on Capitol Hill. ABC News has learned the January 6th committee will vote today on whether to ask the Justice Department to bring criminal charges to former President Donald Trump. ABC's Faith Abube joins us live from Capitol Hill with the latest on this developing story. Faith.
Good morning to you, Samantha. We're now just a few hours away from that likely final January 6th Select Committee meeting here on Capitol Hill. It could end with a panel recommending multiple criminal charges against former President Donald Trump, including a rare charge of inciting an insurrection.
This morning, the House January 6th Select Committee on the verge of a historic move after months of debating whether to issue criminal referrals against former President Donald Trump in the wake of the 2021 bloody attack on the U.S. Capitol. Sources tell ABC News the panel will today make that decision, recommending that the Justice Department criminally charge former President Donald Trump for conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstruction of an official proceeding, and a rare charge accusing the former president of inciting an insurrection.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol. You'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
Over the course of 10 public hearings, the committee used the president's own words, more than 1,000 interviews with his closest allies, including members of his own family, and 140,000 documents to make its case.
President Trump summoned the mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack.
This is someone who tried to interfere with a joint session. If that's not criminal, then I don't know what is.
The panel revealing that Trump watched the violence unfolding on television, but did nothing to stop it for 187 minutes. The former president has denied any wrongdoing.
Ultimately, Donald Trump, the president of the United States, spurred a mob of domestic enemies of the Constitution to march down the Capitol and subvert American democracy.
And Mark, criminal referrals against Trump would be significant, but largely symbolic. The DOJ is not obligated to act on these referrals. It's conducting its own investigation into the January 6th attack, but we are expecting a report from the committee after its meeting today justifying its actions. Mark?
Faith Abube reporting live for us on Capitol Hill. Thank you very much. We'll check in with you soon. And ABC News plans live coverage of today's hearing beginning around noon.
There are Hanukkah events throughout the city and the suburbs today.
There was extra security as well last night during the menorah lighting in Logan Square. It was the first night of the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, and Jewish leaders say this year is the year of assembly, and that the symbolism behind the celebration is more important than ever. The Anti-Defamation League reports 2021 had the highest level of anti-Semitic incidents on record.
So instead of taking all the trauma that's going on in the world today and using it to get beaten up, say no, we're crushing it so we can have that pure, beautiful light that comes out.
It's about being alive, about being, happy and bringing light to the world.
Everybody was created here and has a purpose on this world, and so we all really have to bond together.
Celebrations started with a car parade from Rogers Park all the way to Logan Square.
Happening today, a forum to talk about rebuilding Ryan Field in Evanston. The North Shore NAACP is hosting the event at Second Baptist Church. The public is invited to hear from Northwestern University's president and athletic director. They will answer questions about the new field and the impact it will have on the community.
The Chicago Bears suffer a 7th straight loss to Philly.
But it wasn't all bad news at Soldier Field. Justin Fields became the 3rd quarterback in NFL history to rush for 1,000 yards in a season.
That is quite the feather in his cap, and he now joins Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson with the record. Bears fall to the Eagles 25-20. They play Buffalo on Saturday. Quite the accomplishment for Justin Fields there. That's incredible.
Yeah,
well done.
He really seems like a nice guy, and it's great to see him kind of break out into this role. But
we just need some.
We need the wins.
We need some W's. That's all we need. We need some W's. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
he's trying.
We all are. We're all trying. Your live local news just getting started as we stream out loud this morning. Coming up, breaking new details from Ukraine. Officials overnight on an attack in Kyiv.
But first, Tracy has your ABC 7 AccuWeather forecast. She's tracking tumbling temperatures and a big snow system that is in store for later this week. It might have an impact on Santa.
Hi everybody, here's a holiday safety quick tip. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says many injuries and deaths associated with celebrating the holidays can be prevented. Check when purchasing toys. In 2021, there were more than 152,000 toy-related emergency department injuries to children under 15, including 2 deaths. Follow age guidance and other safety information on toy packaging. Be careful while cooking. Cooking fires remain the #1 cause of residential fires. Never leave cooking food unattended on the stove or in the oven. Only fry a turkey outside and far away from your home. Beware of dangerous decorating. Putting up holiday lights and decorations around the home and fireplace are common. However, dry Christmas trees, burning candles, and busted holiday lights can lead to dangerous and even deadly fires. Make sure your live Christmas tree has plenty of water and look for the fire-resistant label on your artificial tree. Jason Knowles, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Jason. And you know what? The Christmas tree information, very, very important. Well, a live look outside. Oh my goodness. It almost looks like a painting. Absolutely beautiful as the sun comes up over the Adler Planetarium and the Shed Aquarium and here in the city this morning. But clouds are going to be filling in. Here's what we're watching today and the rest of the week. So it's just a really cold morning out there this morning. But I don't anticipate any major weather-related problems for our rush hour time periods through probably Wednesday and maybe even Thursday morning. But then we're watching for snow Thursday and into the day on Friday. Along with strong gusty winds, this snow could create some travel troubles here later in the week. Then we follow it up with bitter cold air for the weekend. And in fact, let's take a look at that as our computer models keep fluctuating with the forecast highs for Saturday and Sunday. At times it's 9, at times it's 10. Either way you look at it, it's going to be cold. Well, right now, again, we are seeing a little hint of some sun to start off our day, but more clouds are going to be coming. And as you look at the futurecast, future radar, it does show tonight probably some flurries in the area into tomorrow morning. But then the snowcast, here we go. So Thursday morning looks okay. It's as we go through the day on Thursday and into the day on Friday, our snow chances do increase. Jeremy Scott with traffic.
Well, Tracy, we start things off in Riverside, where 23rd Street and 1st Avenue, the scene of a crash. Also, as you are traveling in Elmhurst, crews are on the scene of a crash, Route 83 and Lake Street. Elsewhere on the roadways, it's lighter than what we normally see this time of day because of the holiday week. 80 east and westbound heavy, just west of 57. That's all due to multiple crashes, one eastbound, one westbound. But the bigger story is northbound the Tri-State. You're heavy from Southwest Highway all the way over to 95th and Chopper 7 HD details why there was an earlier crash this morning right around 75th at the express lane, local lane split. The good news is moments ago, tollway authorities just opened up that stretch. They were cleaning up because of a pretty serious crash involving at least one overturned vehicle and other vehicles involved, but still the delay is horrendous. If you have to use anything, use Harlem as your alternate because LaGrange, frankly, is just absolutely awful. Mark and Samantha.
All right, Jeremy, thank you so much. Breaking news from overnight, Ukraine's capital city was targeted in a drone attack. Authorities say more than 20 Iranian-made drones were detected over the airspace. At least 15 were shot down. This comes after what Ukrainian officials call one of Russia's biggest assaults on Kyiv since the war started. Kyiv officials say a critical infrastructure point was hit, but did not give further details. New this morning, 6 people are dead, including a suspect. One is hurt from a condo shooting. Police in Canada say it happened last night north of Toronto. Officers went to the building for a weapons call. The police chief says police killed the suspect during an altercation. No word yet on how this shooting actually started. Now to the growing crisis on the southern border. Several states are taking their battle over a controversial border policy to the highest court in the land, saying they fear total chaos if something isn't done immediately. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning, 19 Republican-led states are planning to file an appeal with the Supreme Court, arguing Title 42 should remain in place. That's the Trump-era rule that allows Border Patrol to turn away illegal migrants to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The rule is set to expire Wednesday and is expected to trigger an influx of migrants on the southern border.
If the courts do not intervene and put a halt to the removal of Title 42, it's going to be total chaos.
El Paso, Texas, now declaring an emergency. Officials scrambling to find shelter for thousands of migrants.
We saw 2,500 in the past 6-7 days. We can imagine what it's going to be. That's doubling the flow.
It's not just border cities. The mayor of New York says he expects to receive more than 1,000 asylum seekers each week. The White House insists there's a robust effort underway to manage the border in a safe, orderly, and humane way when Title 42 lifts. ABC's Matt Rivers spoke to a couple previously expelled under Title 42. They're now waiting in Ciudad Juarez, hoping to cross once the policy expires.
Pero ¿por qué ustedes siguen tratando de cruzarse? Calidad de vida. They keep trying to cross because they're looking for a better quality of life.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Border Patrol has already encountered 2.7 million migrants at the southern border this year, the highest number on record. Still to stream this morning, it'll be a miracle on 31st Street as the final donation of 3,300 pizzas will be distributed to feed Chicagoans in need today. More on that ahead.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
Today is the final day for school board candidates in Cook County to file for the April 2023 consolidated election. That race is expected to include more than 700 candidates from 145 suburban school districts. And get ready for the ultimate dad jokes. The Laugh Factory on North Broadway is hosting a dad joke competition tonight. That event starts at 7 o'clock and it's a fundraiser for the charity Mr. Dad's Fathers Club. Tickets are still available, and the charity works to help fathers and male mentors be actively involved in their children's lives through mentoring and literacy.
Also happening today, Home Run In Pizza is donating 3,300 pizzas to Chicago's homeless shelters. This is the final event in a year-long effort to donate 10,000 pizzas. The restaurant has given the pies to shelters and senior centers. Chicago First Lady Amy Eshelman will take part in this morning's giveaway, along with Santa and carolers. Right now, we are going to join our Good Morning America viewers.
Yep, I'm going to have a news update on TV in just a bit. You'll see it right here as well.
And when we come back, we will have more on the TSA making a new push to add facial recognition technology at airports across the country. Very controversial story there.
Stay with us.
Now, an update from ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. At 7:23, I'm Mark Rivera. Students at Benito Juarez Community Academy in Chicago plan to walk out today. They're demanding action against violence. Last Friday, Brandon Perez and his friend Nathan Villegas were shot and killed. Police have not made any arrests in that case. And police need your help as well, identifying the person accused of shooting and wounding a 16-year-old early yesterday morning on the CTA Red Line train. You can see the man clearly holding a handgun in surveillance video. Police say the victim was shot near the Cermak Chinatown station at about 2 a.m. Jeremy is in for Roz this week with traffic. Hey, Jeremy.
Well, Mark, we'll go right to Chopper 7 HD, where you see, first of all, northbound Tri-State's heavy, but the big problem right now is in North Riverside, where First Avenue is closed both ways, 26 is Cermak, and you see why. A vehicle under a tanker truck. We did see at least one person transported to the area hospital, but right now First Avenue is a mess, with it being closed from 26 all the way over to Cermak. Northbound Tri-State still a mess from Southwest Highway all the way over to 75th from an earlier crash. But Tracy has more on your forecast here after a short break.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. and do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Well, good morning to you, and what a lovely sunrise we have this morning over Chicago. Not so lovely are these temperatures, however. Take a look. 9 in Coal City, 7 in McHenry. It is 7 in Hampshire, 12 in Gary, 9 right now in Valparaiso. Fortunately, the winds are not too strong this morning, but even still, we've had a few spots this morning with wind chills that have been just below zero. First half of the week is kind of the quiet part of the week. Snow and bitter cold, though, on the way.
All right, welcome back. Taking a live look over the Adler Planetarium from the Shed Aquarium at a beautiful sunrise over the city of Chicago, but it is bitterly cold, only 11 degrees out there. We'll check in with Tracy in just a few minutes, but a scan of your face could get you through security at some airports this week. TSA is expanding its facial recognition pilot program to more airports. The goal is to match a passenger's face with a photo ID at security checkpoints. Aren't they already doing that with the TSA people looking at your ID and then looking right at you?
Right.
The latest additions include Denver, Las Vegas, and Dallas-Fort Worth. Chicago airports are not currently using that technology. TSA says it's in the testing phase before committing to a national rollout, possibly next year.
We're assessing its accuracy. We're assessing its impact on passengers.
We're already using it for our phones consistently. I mean, just about everybody's doing it.
Critics here say that the biometric industry is part of a powerful multi-billion-dollar tech lobby, and some state and local governments have restricted that tech over data privacy concerns. We have very strict biometric data laws here in Illinois. You might have gotten checks from Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram, all sorts of things, because of violations in the past. But real questions over how that data is going to be used, in my opinion.
Yeah, what do you think about that guy's point when he said, well, we use it every day with our iPhones if we have iPhones? So what are your thoughts on that? Is that a fair argument?
Well, I think for that specifically, part of the iPhone technology is that it only stays on the iPhone, and when you erase your iPhone, it's gone.
Right.
So Apple doesn't have Apple doesn't independently have your facial data or your biometric data in the iCloud.
Right. So the big question is, how is this data being used? Where is it being stored?
Is it going to be sold to advertisers, to other law enforcement entities? Who knows? So I think there are big questions there.
A lot of questions. Coming up this morning, an announcement expected from the January 6th committee today.
Plus, it's expected to bring thousands of entertainment jobs to Chicago. A new studio breaking ground in the South Shore neighborhood today. The big plans ahead.
You're watching ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Let's take a quick look at some of our top stories we're watching for you today. Later on today is the final public hearing of the January 6th House Committee. Sources tell ABC News the committee is expected to vote on whether to ask the Justice Department to bring criminal charges against former President Donald Trump. The committee is also expected to release an executive summary of its final report on the attack on the Capitol. The complete report will be released on Wednesday.
A memorial service is planned for this morning for Illinois State Senator Scott Bennett. Bennett passed away earlier this month at the age of 45 from complications of a brain tumor. The Democrat served the state's 52nd district in Champaign since 2015. Governor J.B. Pritzker is among those expected to attend the memorial in Urbana.
In Chicago, Regal Mile Studios will break ground on its site in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood today. The multi-million-dollar film and TV production campus will cover more than 200,000 square feet on the 79th Street corridor. Regal Mile Studios is the brainchild of a group of men who grew up on the South Side, including rapper Common. It is expected to create thousands of jobs in the entertainment industry.
That is so cool. Those renderings look amazing,
yes,
too.
Looks beautiful. And good morning to you all. I'm Samantha Chapman in for Val Warner.
I'm Mark Rivera in for Terrell Brown. Let's take a look outside as well on your Monday morning. Beautiful sunrise, Tracy Butler, as we take a look over the Adler Planetarium. But boy, those temperatures are just frigid right now.
Yeah, I call it deceptive sunshine. It looks great, but my goodness, it is cold. 2 degrees, the temperature right now in Woodstock. It's 7 in McHenry, 12 right now in Plainfield, 9 in Morris, 9 in Maryville, 14 degrees over at Northerly Island. Excuse me. Now, those wind chills this morning, as you take a look, in some cases, the wind chills and the temperatures are exactly the same, and that's because the air is calm. You look at McHenry, and the wind chill there is 3 below 0. Today's high temperatures, mid to upper 20s. I mean, this is about all we're going to get. Lots of cloud cover with us here today as well. Then tomorrow, we're anticipating temperatures getting to freezing. How about that? A lot of clouds with us tomorrow, however, too. But right now, let's bring in Jeremy Scott. Jeremy, you've had a number of incidents that you've been talking about this morning.
Yeah, and this is one of them that we've been watching all morning long. It's a northbound Tri-State, I should say. This happened around the 5 o'clock hour where multiple vehicles were involved in this crash. The express lanes were closed at 75th. That has since been cleared. Delays back to Southwest Highway, but once you get past that express lane split, you're seeing at least one lane of traffic open for construction. So LaGrange is not a good alternate. Harlem is, however. Now, look at the rest of the roadways. There's your Tri-State delay. Lighter than normal volume, but things are starting to tick up on your expressways and tollways. In Riverside, you're seeing a full closure of First Avenue from 26 all the way over to Cermak with a vehicle that ended up under a tanker truck. Cleanup with that continues. Also, as you are traveling, as I said, the northbound Tri-State at 75th, still pretty heavy with that earlier crash. Your delays back to Cicero, and again, it's pretty heavy, but if you are traveling through northwest Indiana, really, Mark and Samantha, that's about as light as we've seen all day long.
Okay, Jeremy, thank you. We appreciate it. Now turning to today's talkers this morning. Elon Musk is polling Twitter users overnight about his future with the company. The results are in, by the way. The billionaire asking Twitter users, should he step down as CEO? 57.6% of them said yes. So Musk could step down if that poll goes against him. You see there, 57.5 said yes, he should step down. This is after he bought the social media company for $44 billion, leveraging a lot of his Tesla stock to do so. So far, most users are in favor of Musk's departure. Let's bring in Tracy Butler for thoughts on this as well. Twitter and Elon Musk.
So he
very
said,
stable genius.
In that tweet, didn't he mention that I will abide by the results?
Yes, he said that in writing.
So what does that mean? Does that mean he's stepping down?
That means if he is a man of his word, then yes. If not, then no.
We'll have to see what happens later on today now that the results are out, right, Trace?
Yeah, for sure. Check it out.
And switching gears to top weirdest world records broken in 2022. Some records are impressive, like running a mile in 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
Holy cow, that's amazing.
The people with UPI.com compiled a list of weirdest world records broken this year so far. Now, this guy from Wisconsin suctioned 10 cans to his head for a Guinness World Record, and he claims he has a skin condition where his pores suck in oxygen. Now, Tracy, we were looking at this. You said you thought you saw this guy before, right?
I'm pretty sure he has been out on State Street here. I am pretty sure we have seen him. I feel, unless I'm dreaming this, I feel like I've seen him in a Bears jersey.
Oh, maybe I have seen that guy
really
then.
think
That actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Or maybe there's a competitor.
Well, maybe maybe there's a competitor working for that other Guinness World Book of Records. Wow, look at him on this motorcycle with those stuck to his head too. So what's the deal with this? Is this just like, you know, he just has, is it the shape of his head? Is it he says it's his pores.
Yeah, they suck oxygen. Oh, okay.
Maybe it's, oh my gosh. Wow, that is quite the interesting video there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a gift.
Yes, exactly, right? Is it a gift or a curse, Tracy? I don't know. And there are some other odd world records broken in 2022. First, a man in Iraq balanced 18 eggs on the back of his hand.
What?
I want to see the video of that. Is that odd or not? What do you think?
I think so. 18, so on the back, so he just was like this?
I'm trying to picture what that would be. Like, they can't, obviously, they're not stacked straight up, right? They have to be sort of like
Well, you'd have to almost build a pyramid.
Exactly,
Right,
some sort of design there. But,
and
wow.
for how expensive eggs are right now, I would be chancing that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you don't want any of those to break. Those need to be cooked and eaten. The fastest time to eat 10 Carolina Reaper hot peppers was also broken. That sounds horrible. They're also the hottest in the world. Of course, a man from California did that in 33 seconds.
I wonder how his digestive system is.
Not good. Not good, I'll tell you that. And here's another top weirdest world record broken. The largest gathering of people with the same first and last name. 178 people.
Wow.
That's amazing. They were all named Hirokazu Tanaka. Hirokazu Tanaka.
Okay.
They got together in Japan back in October. The previous record was 164 Martha Stewarts in 2005.
How do you
That's great.
How do you even initiate that? Is it like a Facebook search?
Oh, that's got to be a call on social media, right? That's got to be a social media call. Okay, gather everybody together. I would like to meet every other Mark Rivera in the world, though.
Have you looked one up on Facebook to see if there are any others?
Oh, there are. Okay,
Plenty.
It's a very common name.
Okay.
Like Rivera, there are a lot of Riveras out there in the world. And there are a good amount of Mark Riveras, too. So if there's ever any other Mark Riveras in the Chicago area, we should try and beat this.
Hit them up. Hit them up on social media. I have seen other Samantha Chapmans out there, too.
Yeah?
So yeah, I've never reached out to them or anything like that. I'm just, curious.
Well, I always wonder, is it weird to wonder, like, do we have any similarities, like in terms of like what we look like? Are we gonna look similar? Are we gonna not look similar? Is there a doppelganger actually named Mark Rivera out there? That's the thing. I don't know.
I believe there is at least one other person in the world that probably looks exactly like you, me, and I. Like there's gonna be at least one person.
Can I just tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
I will never forget this. In 4th grade, substitute teacher asked me to stay after class, and of course I was a firstborn rule follower. I was a nervous wreck. I was in trouble. She shows me a picture of her niece, whose name is Tracy Butler.
Stop. You guys look the same?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Where is she now?
I know.
I need to find her.
Yes, we need to bring her on the show.
I'll never forget it.
Tracy.
That would be crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's
amazing. And can she do the weather?
I know. Maybe she is.
We just swap her in.
Well, bringing in Tracy Butler from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Come on in. All right. Well, ABC 7's Eyewitness News continues streaming out loud right after the break. We're back in 90 seconds, leaving you with this. Wow, just interesting video here. He's got the stick.
Big story this week, actually a couple of big weather stories. One, the potential for snow later in the week, but two, and I'll talk about this one first, the potential for a bitter cold Arctic outbreak, especially impacting us here on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Well, right now, we're starting the day a little hint of some sun out there. Not bad. But as we look at the future cast, yeah, it does look as though there will be some flurries that materialize here later this evening and into early tomorrow. But our snowcast is what we are watching. So right now, it looks like Thursday morning's commute should be fine. Afternoon, evening rush on Thursday, we are going to start to see more snow developing, and then overnight into Friday morning is when I think at this point a lot of the snow is going to fall with this system. And we're looking at potentially at least 6 inches of snow or more coming our direction. This is a system that as of right now, this is going to be passing to our south, pulling in moisture, and we're going to drag in a lot of cold air and gusty winds too. That potentially could even make for blizzard-like conditions here later in the week. But there's still a lot that has to evolve. We'll continue to watch it. Right now, 10 degrees, and it's mostly sunny out there. Good to see that sun. Wind chill, however, 2 degrees. So this morning, we get a mix of clouds and sun. We'll get more clouds during the afternoon, and our temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 20s today. Jeremy Scott has traffic information for you.
Yeah, make sure you bring those sunglasses. But as I look at the southwest suburban traffic camera outside here, I've seen some clouds move in. Let's take a look at the tollways where the Tri-State right at 82nd got a crash off to the right, but you are starting to see the delays are getting better from that much earlier crash that occurred in the express lanes right in that stretch. Let's take a look at the map because while that crash is clear, we are still seeing delays all the way back to 115th, and that's mostly because of road work in the right lane right before the Stevenson. You see LaGrange northbound, that's still pretty heavy as well. You might want to think about using Harlem or Cicero or even Route 83 as your alternates. Elsewhere, Riverside still have this crash closing First Avenue between Cermak and 26. It was a car that ended up under a tanker truck. We are hearing that that is clearing off, so expect First Avenue to open up here momentarily. Also in the southwest side, got a structure fire at the intersection of 63rd and Marshfield. Expect a lot of additional traffic through that stretch. But really, the rest of your roads are starting to look normal. We had a later start from the rush hour that we normally see on a Monday, but I think the closer we get to this weekend, it's going to be a little bit less hectic, but we're definitely going to watch this storm system Tracy's been talking about because that will severely impact not only the roads, but the air travel market, Samantha.
Absolutely. Okay, we will be keeping an eye on that into Thursday and Friday this week for sure, Jeremy. Thank you.
No one makes it feel more like Christmas than Mom.
Yeah, but is it possible for Mom to overdo it? No? ABC's Will Gans found out one mom in Iowa who is coming close. Take a look.
When it comes to celebrating the holidays, you've got to go in with a plan.
First, we'll make snow angels for 2 hours, and then we'll go ice skating, and then we'll eat a whole roll of Toll House cookie dough as fast as we can, and then, to finish, we'll snuggle.
And one mom in Iowa is making Buddy the Elf look like a slacker.
She's wearing like a jingle bell around her neck right now. She is very into Christmas. There are multiple trees. She's really centered around Christmas. This is her Super Bowl and then some.
Khaled El-Khatib sharing Mom's annual Home for the Holidays email. This year's schedule spanning Sunday to Sunday. When Khaled and his younger sisters arrive on the 18th, the schedule says there will be puffed popcorn, Chex Mix, and various candies available for grazing throughout the day, to include jelly beans and peanut M&Ms.
I kind of know what foods they like, but that's why if you saw, they have options in there, because if they need something changed up or if it's not what they want because they had it the last time, then I'm open to those suggestions.
Some days schedules are locked in. Janet says Monday is a work day for all with chili and fresh bread for dinner. Friday, the ladies are getting manicures at 11:30, but other days have options like Thursday. Is there any interest in a bourbon tasting?
And I think that's why everyone on the internet is hoping for an invite to Christmas.
I know there's a lot of people that want to be adopted. There's a lot of people that want to stop by. They've offered to bring food and do the dishes.
In fact, more than 140,000 people have liked Khaled's tweet.
I was flying from New York to California for work, and when I landed, I had something like 30,000 notifications.
You're a star. You're an internet celebrity.
And the Christmas Day snack game is strong. Janet's got assorted cheeses, taco dips, smokies wrapped in bacon, and a butterboard with fresh bread on deck. And while the schedule is so fun, Janet says it's really all about creating traditions and spending quality time with her kids, which is why she puts so much effort into it. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
And you said this kind of reminds you of your mother?
I would say the scheduling does, absolutely. Yeah, trying to find each of these moments and to do everything and squeeze as much as possible in on those days.
Yeah, it's about tradition, right?
Definitely, it
Making
is.
Memories.
It absolutely
We're
is.
kind of just winging it. I'm like, Mom, what's the plan? She's like,
well, this year we've got, this year too, we're kind of winging it a little bit too. So we got morning stuff, afternoon stuff, and then who knows?
yeah, it'll be good. We will be right back with more news in about 60 seconds.
And welcome back. Avatar: The Way of Water making its way to the #1 spot at the weekend box office.
The sequel earned $134 million from North American theaters. That gives director James Cameron his first $100 million opening weekend, despite falling short of analyst predictions. Globally, the movie pulled in more than $430 million. Disney produced the film and is the parent company of ABC7. Mark,
I went and saw it yesterday. Truly visually stunning. Like, just really interesting and like something I've never seen before.
Okay.
You know, so it is a unique thing and definitely an experience that you should see in theaters for sure.
And tell our viewers, should you see it in 3D?
I saw it in 3D. I liked it. I want to see it in 3D again.
Okay.
On a bigger screen.
Okay,
so.
Gotcha. And those who saw the Avatar movie, like Mark, also got a chance to see the first trailer for the upcoming Barbie movie. Let's take a look.
Since the beginning of time, since the first little girl ever existed, there have been dolls. But the dolls were always and forever baby dolls. Until... But the dolls were always and forever baby dolls.
All right. So to recap here, this starts with little girls playing with dolls in the prehistoric landscape. This is essentially, if anyone has seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, this is basically a shot-for-shot remake of that in the beginning with the dolls versus the proto-humans in that story. Trailer transitions into what's being called the real-life scenario with Barbie in her dream house. You saw that with that pink landscape, yes. I think. Movie hits theaters July 21st.
I am intrigued. I really, really am. And I wonder what the age recommendation is going to be for it.
I'm going to say this is a PG-13 movie.
Okay.
That's what I would...
Yeah, I saw some familiar faces and actors, and I'm like,
maybe PG. Could be PG. It's definitely not going to be G, though.
No.
Don't you think?
PG-13, I'm thinking, too.
Yeah, me too. Okay, now to Tom Cruise, Free Fallin'.
Take a listen.
And I didn't want the year to end without thanking you all for coming out to the theaters. And thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick. Hey, kids, it's Chris McCoy, writer, director. Hi, everybody. Hey, thank you. Hey, listen, we really got to roll. We got to get this shot. Oh, yeah, we're filming. We got to get this shot. All right, are you coming? Not on your line. Good luck. Okay, we'll see you down there. Whoa! Where was I? Oh yeah, thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick. As always, thank you for allowing us to entertain you. It truly is the honor of a lifetime.
Tom Cruise. I mean, Tom Cruise. That is the last real, true movie star of our lives right there. There is nobody there's no one else like him. And I get it. I know that most of his movies are about him being Tom Cruise, right, doing all the stunts, just like this, thanking everyone for, seeing Top Gun Maverick, all that stuff. And of course, working with director Christopher McQuarrie. Yes. It just is shocking and amazing. Yeah. Every time you see him, he's the last real movie star.
Over the weekend, we were talking about what star in our generation, our day and age, can bring a bunch of people to the box office still to this day. And you were saying it's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, he has the star power. If you see a Tom Cruise movie, the theater will be filled just because it's Tom Cruise. We're back in 90 seconds. Well, thank you for watching Eyewitness News at 7 a.m. I'm going to have news updates, and Tracy Butler and Roz Barron, they're going to talk weather and traffic. Well, Jeremy Scott is in for Roz today during Good Morning America.
That's right, and we will hear from them in just a moment. Good morning, everyone.
This has been Eyewitness News, streaming at 7. Now, an update from ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning at 7:56. I'm Mark Rivera. Chicago police need your help identifying the person accused of shooting and wounding a 16-year-old early yesterday morning on the CTA Red Line train. You can see that man clearly holding a handgun here in surveillance video. Police say the victim was shot near the Cermak Chinatown station at around 2 a.m. Regal Miles Studios will break ground on its site in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood today. The multi-million-dollar film and TV production facility will cover more than 200,000 square feet on the 79th Street corridor. It's expected to create thousands of jobs. Those renderings look incredible. I can't wait to see what it looks like in real life. We'll check out weather and traffic coming up next.
And good morning. As you're traveling through North Riverside, First Avenue is back open after this very serious crash that occurred right after 7 o'clock where a car ended up under a tanker truck. At least one person was taken to an area hospital. Now, let's take a look at the maps as things are getting a little heavier out there on our expressways and our tollways. Northbound, the tri-state is heavy as well. Tracy, how's our weather looking for at least today?
Well, today, Jeremy, you know it. It is cold out there this morning. Lombard at 9, Naperville at 9 degrees, 8 right now in McHenry, 9 in Maryville. Fortunately, we do not have any strong gusty winds out there, more or less a lighter breeze. But we're seeing some sun right now. Clouds will thicken up as we go through the day. Tomorrow may bring a couple patches of some freezing drizzle. First half of the week, fairly quiet, not so much. At the end of the week with snow and cold ahead.